Welcome to the show for bloody good Kiwis across the country. This is Bhuja with Lee Hart and Jason Hoyt.
Good afternoon, New Zealand. Welcome to Daily Bhuja this Monday, the 5th of March 2018. Great to have your company this afternoon. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. And welcome along to the Daily Bhuja Oscar special. And Lee Hart, g'day, mate.
Yeah, g'day, mate. Great to be here with you and Matt, of course, analysing the Oscars, breaking it down. We'll be looking at the movies a bit later on. You'll be concentrating on soundtracks and some of the technical aspects of movie making.
Sound editing, actually, is what I'll be most focused on.
And I'll be breaking down some of the fashion very shortly, the red carpet. Some interesting stuff on the red carpet this year, plus much more.
Well, I believe also, Matt, you'll be focusing on Best Foreign Film, talking us through that. And it's great to see at the Oscars, isn't it? The celebration of women that's going on at the moment. It's absolutely brilliant. Now, I was going to apologise and do a formal apology at the start of the show. It is a Monday after all. And often, Lee Hart, as well you know, Mondays can be really kind of tedious.
Well, horrendous is probably word.
Well, horrendous, you know, particularly if you only landed the plane late Sunday night, you know, and you wake up on the Monday morning knowing you've got to do a show. But I've got a feeling it's going to be a great show.
Well, I didn't realise it was an Oscar special till we came in.
Yeah.
I have to be honest. And when I heard that, and I saw the prep that had been done for us on our behalf for the Oscar special, I knew we were going to have a great show.
Well, congratulations to young Tom in Studio B. He's now a fully fledged member of Radio Hodaki, and I believe he's been beavering away all day getting us little tidbits of the Oscars, and we'll be filtering those throughout the show. How are you, Matty? You good, buddy?
Very well, thank you very much. Relieved, actually, now that there's sort of a positive vibe coming from you. Thought I was in a studio with a couple of Dementors, if you're familiar with Harry Potter, but now I'm feeling good. I'm feeling fresh.
Did you feel that I was sort of down in spirits too, did you, Matty?
Oh, just a little bit, yeah. You walked into the room with that dark cloud over your head, but I tell you what, it's gone now.
It's dissipated, hasn't it?
Sunshine and lollipops in all directions.
It can be a great show.
And can I say that you're looking very well? You've been working out quite a lot over the weekend, have you?
Oh, I threw around a couple of kettlebells, ain't no thing.
I heard you had a big one, though, on the weekend.
Yeah.
What'd you hear?
I heard that you had a big Saturday.
Well, we ain't talking city limits. A lot of people had big Saturday.
No, you had a particularly big one.
Yeah, well, that's what Dave was saying anyway.
What'd Dave say?
Oh, he just said you had a pretty big one on the Saturday.
He can talk. He had an even bigger one, I think.
Well, he said, well, we'll go into that a little bit later on.
It's not about passing the buck around. I mean, you either had a big one or you didn't, man.
Well, at least I left on my own accord, unlike Dave.
Well, that's not what Dave said.
Well, he
Dave said he helped you leave of your own accord.
Oh, he would, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Classic
Okay.
Dave.
Actually, incidentally, it was the ACL this weekend. If you went along to it, tell us what you thought.
Coming up, fashion, life on the red carpet. You at Bhuja.
Oh, yes, Green Day there on Daily Bhuja this Monday afternoon. I tell you what, if I may have been, with a black cloud over my head or what you were saying, Matty, there's nothing like a bit of Green Day to kick me into action.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's just that black cloud just disappears over the horizon and the sun pours in whenever I hear Green Day. But now it's time for the Daily Bhuja Oscar Fashion Special. And Lee, I tell you what, there's been some extraordinary gowns, some wonderful outfits, as always, as you'd expect on an Oscar Day situation.
Yeah, let's take you through some of them there. You know, we expect a lot out of these people. Salma Hayek, I'm afraid she's had a complete miss this year. She's wearing a...
Well, she's extraordinarily beautiful naturally. She's absolutely beautiful.
Just about anything off, I think.
Yeah.
But the sequined purple ensemble she's wearing honestly looks like she's come straight from reading fortunes at a fairground. Yeah. And, I'm just not buying it, okay? It's not really happening for me.
It's the sort of thing that I would expect to see if I was getting my tarot cards read.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And you're right. Selma is an extraordinarily beautiful woman. And Dario was on the phone just earlier saying, what was she thinking?
What a miss. And Sandra Bullock, on the other hand, wearing Louis Vuitton, a contemporary gown, silver, with a bit of sequins and a bit of pleating around the waist.
That's the pleating,
and dark hair, and she's pulling it off fantastic.
Look, I'm a big fan of Sandra Bullock. She looks outstanding. She's got the right gown for the right night. She looks absolutely beautiful.
Could I ask you your opinion on Leslie Mann wearing a strapless red gown with a full skirt and embellishment at the neckline?
Yeah, interesting. See, it's the neckline's all wrong for her body type. What she's wearing there, that's coming off the shoulders there. What she really needs, it's just too much going on below the waistline with that dress. She really needs to bring it in, and I dare say that's been adjusted. and it's an absolute fail. Horrendous.
You've got to be really careful when you're embellishing the neck area. You know, you've got to be certain about what you're doing. There's a lot of tulle I'm noticing, and as you know, Lee Hart, Dario, not a big fan of tulle.
No, not this year anyway. Whoopi Goldberg, another epic fail here. I'm going to say disgusting what she's wearing. Horrendous, tacky, all in the one. You could say with her personality she could pull this off, but she's not, Jace. She's just not pulling it off.
Okay.
I've got to be honest with Jennifer Lawrence as well, wearing the shimmering bronze Dior gown. She just looks like a disco ball.
Yeah, what's she doing? What is she thinking?
You've got to be very careful when you go bronze. Bronze is one of those colours that either can be absolutely majestic or really a big fail.
Well, Margot Robbie, of course, Best Actress nominee. She's looking fantastic. Sporting a fresh sort of blunt haircut, which just kind of pairs perfectly with her gown's simple silhouette lines. It's almost like a wedding gown, Jace, but a simple, modest, and a beautiful dress for her.
And we really can't reiterate, actually, the importance of getting the hair right with the gown that you're wearing. So often I've seen, Jace. I see a beautiful gown with the wrong hair, and that can really take the whole ensemble down.
The what?
The whole ensemble.
Yes, it can. Got time for just a couple more. You mentioned Jennifer Lawrence, didn't we? Epic fail there with the crystal ball, disco ball effect.
It's always a gamble going for the old pantsuit, but I've got to be honest, Emma Stone with her pink and black Louis Vuitton.
Oh, what she's doing there, mate, you see, she's wearing the black pants with the red ensemble on the top there with the sort of a little belt. How do you describe that? It's
like a bow.
A bit of a bow around there. Had she gone the other way around, perhaps, and had the dark top and the red pants, it just wouldn't have worked.
Apparently, Emma, when she heard that the outfit that had been made for her had slacks, she wasn't happy with that ensemble at all. But she felt with the top, the ensemble worked quite nicely. And if anyone can pull off a pant, it's Emma.
That's right. And anyone can put on a pant. It's Jane Fonda. What a legend. And she hasn't gone for pants. She's gone for a white gown. Very simple.
Timeless elegance.
Timeless elegance. Square neckline. And very dramatic shoulder detailing here, which I like. And only she can pull it off.
Yeah.
She's a power woman. She commands respect. And I love the little Dario, what would you call that? Sort of a clutch bag.
Here's Blair. Blue there on Daily Bhuja this Monday afternoon. And a lot of people are not necessarily agreeing with our fashion descriptions, Lee Hart.
Yep.
Some of them, quite frankly, downright abusive about our thoughts on fashion.
Well, some people just said, play some damn music, will you? Which we just did, of course.
Yeah, of course, that's part of the show, obviously.
But, you can't please everyone all the time, Jason.
Indeed, mate, indeed. Have we got time for a slice of life?
Have you got one?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
You recall, maybe a few months ago it would have been now, and I was walking my dog, and as we were walking along, my dog did wheeze on a guy's lawn.
Oh yeah, angry neighbour.
Well, he's not really a neighbour, but he's just down the road. And so this guy went absolutely berserk at me and was screaming at me to clean it up. And I was saying to him, how do you clean up dog wheeze from a lawn? It's dog wheeze. And we got into this terrible argument. And anyway, I ended up just walking away. Same guy on Sunday, yesterday, right? I'm walking towards his house. And as I walk towards his house and towards his lawn, I notice a dog poo on the lawn. And as I'm walking past this dog poo, this guy comes out of his house and says, your dog shat on my lawn. And I'm like, dude, that's not my dog's poo. My dog didn't do that poo. So don't tell me that my dog's pooed on your lawn, which my dog didn't do. Because if my dog does poos, Lee Hart,
you'd know about it, wouldn't you?
Well, I take a plastic bag with me and I clean it up. Of course, that's what responsible dog owners do. So we got into this massive argument about me defending the fact that my dog didn't poo on his lawn. 5 hours later, I'm walking up to go to the dairy. There's a dog poo in my letterbox in a plastic bag.
Well, at least it was in a plastic bag.
Well, it was in a plastic bag, so he'd obviously scooped up a poo that was not done by my dog.
You sure it was a dog poo?
It was, well, I hope it was a dog poo. Walked to my house. He probably knows I'm a top radio DJ. Plonked it in my letterbox and walked off. And it wasn't even my dog that did the poo.
Well, it could have been worse. He could have sent it into the station.
Well, that's true. But I thought, that's just outrageous. Not only is my dog wrongly accused, but then he has the temerity to pick up the dog poo, put it in a bag and put it in my letterbox.
Well, 2 words for you. Fair go.
You reckon? Mm-hmm. Or, I don't know if you've ever watched those programs with, impossible neighbours. It's turning into one of those scenarios.
Neighbours at war.
Well, Neighbours at War, exactly. It's turning into one of those. I'm tempted to go and poo on his lawn myself now and get my dog to poo on his lawn while I'm pooing on his lawn.
Well, you'd have to go straight to his mailbox now. He's up the ante. He's at the mailbox stage.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to go do poos in his mailbox.
Well, I could actually, because it's about the right height. It's about waist height. I could just go over there, squat by his mailbox, do a poo in it, and walk on.
There you go.
You're certainly going for the record for the number of times saying poo in a voice break. But you could do celebrity Neighbours at War.
Who would the celebrities be?
Well, Joe.
Well, speaking of which, actually, we've got some celebrity stuff coming up next week in terms of filming. I'm not sure whether we can discuss it or not, actually. But let's just say it's a food show.
Yeah, right.
We get to share our expertise re-food, Matty. It's going to be great stuff.
I'll shuffle over to the edge of my seat.
Here's Cold War Kids. This is Bhuja.
Yes.
Bloody Nora, that takes me back. New Orders there, Blue Monday.
God, I remember dancing up and down to that one.
Yeah, absolutely. That was like your...
Up and down what?
Well, just bouncing on the spot, you know what I mean?
Right.
That was your stock standard sort of third and fourth form social kind of song, really, wasn't it?
I was a bit before my time, but I remember you third and fourth form in that, yeah.
Oh, I mean,
What year was that, mate? That's going back a bit.
I think when they played it when I was in the third and fourth form, it was like a retrospective kind of DJ. He was playing all the old hits.
Retro guy.
Yeah, he was a retrospective DJ. So yeah, brilliant stuff. Hey, with regards to the Oscars, I always love what Stephen Fry said about when he was doing the BAFTAs, and he was the host of those, and he said, sitting before me without question are the most overrated people on the planet. Mm-hmm. And I kind of agree with that. It's a little bit ridiculous that they, that we care about these people that really at the end of the day, they're just actors, pretending to be someone else.
That's right. Certainly we don't really care what they're wearing, do we?
Well, no, I don't really care what they're wearing. I mean, I might go and get a Woman's Weekly and, flick through the gowns and have a feeling about it.
What kind of pervert on the red carpet keeps asking women, what are you wearing? What are you wearing?
Well, exactly.
If I started walking around this building here and asked every woman what they were wearing, or rang them up and said, hey, what are you wearing? I don't think it would go down too well, would it?
Well, certainly not. But all of a sudden you get on a red carpet and it's totally acceptable to say, what are you wearing?
Is there a New Zealand version of the Oscars? Because you'd be...
Well, they used to have New Zealand Film TV Awards, but they don't really do it anymore.
Because I heard Jason Hoyt, you're basically the Christopher Plummer of New Zealand. A lot of people said that.
The Christopher Plummer of New Zealand.
Good actor.
Thanks, mate. I'm going to have to go...
Veteran actor.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm going to have to go on the Google search engine because I can't quite... I know who he is, but I can't picture him in my mind's eye.
He was the...
He's about 90, put it that way.
Right, okay.
He was the dad in The Sound of Music, wasn't he?
Yeah.
The Christopher Plummer. Jeez, man.
Hey, speaking of red carpets and stuff, a few years back, remember we emceed the Fishing Awards?
Yes, we did, yeah.
The red carpet event.
Yep.
So the last red carpet event I've been to, I think, we had to MC it with the Matt Watson Fishing Awards.
Yes.
And the bastard made me take the red carpet back at the end of the night.
Yeah, that was unbelievable.
I mean, the MC, it's not my job to take the red carpet back.
And we're not talking a small red carpet. I mean, that red carpet actually ran from where we were doing the gig right outside and down half the wharf.
That's right. And, once you roll it up, it's a big stack. And you can't leave until everyone's left, because people are still standing on it, chatting and stuff, and you can't just go, excuse me, can you just move over a bit? I just need to get this carpet up.
Yeah, well, totally, and it takes away the whole glamour of the event. I remember you being filthy about that. Your bow tie's undone, you've been chatting to a few women later on that night, you'd had a few, you're feeling relaxed and comfortable, and the end of the night, here you are waiting, and it was raining, if I recall.
That's right, big red carpet on my shoulder.
With a massive red carpet on your shoulder.
You don't look so cool all of a sudden then, do you?
Well, just on that, though, didn't you get the red carpet from Kevin Milne when you did the Carpet Awards? Because they do a big Carpet Awards.
I did.
And you actually were doing Matt a favour by getting that red carpet for free, and then you had to bloody take the thing back.
And they charged me more because I got it back late. They had a drop-off box that I stuck it in if I had to be there before midnight. No. By the time I got there, 12:15. Guess who pays the extra for the carpet? Me. Comes out of my end.
Yeah.
It's the last red carpet gig I'll do.
Well, particularly given that you had to take it back. You know, that's not on. There's Soundgarden. You know, just find someone that's had a worse time than you, and then you automatically feel better.
No, I have now. It's
Okay,
good.
so well, that's good, mate. That's good.
Hey, a lot of feedback coming through. Remember, you can text us on 3483 anytime you like.
Always.
Let us know what's on your mind. A lot of people texting about your poos situation that's going on with your dog.
Well, it was very surreal, Lee Hart, you know, trying to defend my dog who didn't poo on someone's lawn and, you know, having a really random argument with a total stranger about the fact that that wasn't my dog's poo.
You remember that app I was developing at great cost? Find My Poos, I think it was.
Oh, yes, the app. Yeah.
So basically what you do when you see a dog poos on the ground, rather than pick it up, you just take a photo of it and you log it. You press log, literally, and what it'll satellites, what do you call that, satellite software, will show other people who have the app where potential poos is around the place.
Yeah, totally.
So you're walking, it'll start getting an alarm going off that, you know, in 5 minutes time you're going to come across a poos because someone's bothered to log it, you see?
Yeah.
And eventually when everything's been logged, you'll have no issue.
Totally. And, you know, there's nothing worse than when you're going for a walk or just, you know, just hanging out, casually going for a walk or whatever, or, you know, maybe it's a romantic liaison or meeting up, than standing in a dog poos, particularly if you've got a heavy grid shoe. You know, because I don't know about you guys, I've still to this day not found a good way of removing dog poos from a heavily gridded shoe.
Yep.
Particularly with the sort of heels that I used to wear. You know, they used to go right up into the cavity of the shoe, and it was just a nightmare trying to get
often
the
when it's
poos
that
off.
bad, you need to go to a cobbler and just tell him this, and you have to resole them.
Well, interestingly, I have done that. I've actually taken my shoe to a cobbler and said, "Look, I've got poos in the gradient in the grid of my shoe, and I can't get it out. Can you remove the sole?" But apparently, he wasn't very keen. So, you know, what do you do? I think that's a great idea.
Yep.
By the way, the app, the
I'm
poo
just
app.
still working on it. It's cost about $100,000 so far of my own money to sort of get it to this point. Now I'm looking for investors, the people to take to the next level. In principle, you know, people think it's a great idea.
So is it like a beep?
I mean, it'd be easier to pick it up, I suppose. But this way, you log it. If everybody in the planet is logging all these things, it's the kind of app that gets stronger the more people that are using it.
So
Yeah,
how do you make money off it?
Well, it's not about making money.
It's about
never thought about that.
public sort of service.
So you're doing a public service.
I'll probably end up, the council may invest, this kind of thing.
Well, the only sort of downside I can see, particularly in your behalf, of course, with Benny, and the amount of poos on your backyard, your phone would be your app would constantly be beeping and alarming all the time. Because Benny does a lot of poos for a small dog.
Well, I've been using the back lawn as a sort of a test zone for him, you see.
Oh, okay.
I've been using that as like a test arena, so see how the app works. But
It actually had a very clever name for it, and I can't remember what it was.
Track My Poos or Find My Poos, what was it?
Yeah, something like that. We'll try and remember, shall we? Should we go to a break in the meantime?
Yeah.
Okay. Red Hot Chili Peppers there on Daily Bhuja this Monday afternoon. I tell you what, Lee Hart, looking at the text machine, which is usually a great source of information and what people are doing and what the Kiwis out there are up to and stuff. Boy, there's some bloody black clouds today, isn't there, with some people? Crikey almighty. Unbelievable, some of the abuse.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Would you like an Oscars update?
Yeah, what's going on in the Oscars, Matty?
Actress in a supporting role, Alison Janney for I, Tonya.
Oh, yes.
Actor in a supporting role, Sam Rockwell for 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Love Sam Rockwell.
Foreign language film, documentary, kind of boring, documentary feature, animated feature film, Coco, adapted screenplay, Call Me By Your Name, original screenplay, Get Out, and then actor in
I haven't seen any of these movies.
Yeah, no, neither have I.
I've seen
actually.
Dunkirk.
And the reality is, the Oscars are pretty tedious, actually, because most of the time when they accept their awards, you don't actually know any of the people they're talking about.
No.
So it's totally pointless.
So boring when they do that.
They're very boring. Now, let's go to a
If
caller
I
on the
haven't
line.
seen a movie, it can't be any good.
Well, exactly. Well, you guys were saying you've seen Dunkirk, and you believe that Dunkirk should win all of the Oscars.
Only because it's the only one I've seen.
Well, that's what I mean, yeah. Hello, caller. You're on the Bhuja line. Who are we speaking to?
This is Richard.
Richard, how you going, buddy?
Good, yourself?
Yeah, not too bad for a Monday.
Excellent.
You watching the Oscars, Richard?
No, just at work, to be honest.
Fair enough.
We don't really need to watch them when you've got us here to give you all the updates.
No, I did right.
Well, exactly. And how's Palmerston North today?
It's not too bad. It's actually, blue skies, a little bit of puffy cloud around. But,
Nice.
Cumulus.
And tell us, Richard, what do you do for a job?
Project manager.
Oh, okay. Hard work being the old project manager.
Oh, it is.
You-
Someone's got to do it, though.
My brother-in-law's a project manager as well, and he had to break up a fight last week between a plumber and an electrician.
Oh, jeepers.
Just got completely out of hand, apparently. Now, listen, Richard, what are you calling about?
I just thought I happened to hear during that song a large bird with a strongly hooked bill.
Indeed you did. That's completely correct. Now, I'm hoping that we've got some amazing prizes, Tom. Oh, yes, he's nodding his head, so good news for you, Richard. So stay on the line, buddy. Thanks for calling and thanks for listening.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate.
How are we going on the prize front as far as deliveries?
Well, I don't know about deliveries, but we were really struggling in terms of having any kind of prize at all. I think we had Moon DVDs, and no one really has DVD players anymore, we discovered.
I think we've started awarding the prizes that have been bounced back and are arriving back, so they're sort of last November's prizes, I think.
Okay, so we're re-gifting those to other people.
Yeah, that makes sense. Can't remember who needed them.
But we'll have a word with Tom very shortly, actually, about that. But he was nodding his head vigorously, so I'm hopeful, Lee Hart, that we've got some amazing prizes. Coming up, Lee Hart's Name That Tune. I'm there on Daily Bhuja with Lee Hart, Jason Hood, and the Night Wolf. Hey, I tell you what, man, very excited about the fact that we're going down to Dunedin on Friday, Lee Hart. I feel like we haven't been down there for ages.
Long time. So what's happening now? We go down Friday.
Yep. At the, what's the Liquor Land?
Leith Street Liquor,
Yep.
which is the Liquor Land down there, Leith Street. And we're going to do the show from a bottle store.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's ever been done before.
No, I don't know that it's ever been done before. I don't know that it's a tremendously good idea either, but I'm looking forward to it nonetheless.
Well, until you try these things, you're never going to know.
Yes, exactly.
Then I think we're going down to Mac's Brew Bar, aren't we? Down the Octagon.
That's the idea. So if you get down to the Leith Street Liquor Land between 4 and 7, you'll get to see the show be made, the radio show. And then we'll head down to the Max Brew Bar.
Yeah, looking forward to it. It's always great to catch up with the people of Dunedin. The only thing that happened to me the last time I was down there, of course, when we did a gig in one of the pubs down there, I had my vape with me. And about 5 separate students sucked on my vape, and I ended up with a big wodge of saliva in it. And so I started sucking, and it was like, doing some weird kind of bong.
Well, that actually reminds me of a story which I've got coming up very shortly about Komodo dragons.
Oh, is it a slice of life story?
No, it's not really.
Okay, no, that's all good. Komodo dragons, I'll just write that in, because often we have these great ideas and we forget. But the time is 4:55, which means it's time for Lee Hart's Name That Tune.
I'm really going to go back into the archives.
Okay, cool.
And hopefully...
60s?
I reckon it might even be late 50s,
Okay.
very early 60s.
Right, okay.
This, as a clue, this might be the earliest Name That Tune I've ever done.
Nice.
All right?
Nice.
So here we go.
Did you have that one at your school discos?
What is it with you guys at the moment?
Oh, you just mentioned songs at your school discos. I thought that might have been one of them.
Just because we played New Order at my disco doesn't mean that I'm that ancient, Matt. I mean, I admit, I'm not a young buck, but I'm in the prime of my life, let's put it that way. If you can name that tune, call us now on 0800 Hodak. He'd love to hear from you.
This is Bhuja with Lee Hart and Jason Hood.
Yeah, sure is great to have your company this Monday afternoon, New Zealand. Before 5, of course, we had Lee Hart's Name That Tune, and the phone lines, as always, have gone crazy. Let's go and check out Pete and Gizzy. G'day, mate.
G'day, mate.
How you going, Pete?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you doing?
Yeah, good, thanks, mate. It's got that sort of Monday feel about it,
Yep.
Pete, to be honest.
Yes, I agree.
We all get that. What do you do down in Gizzy, Pete?
I'm a real estate agent.
Yeah.
I work for Ray White.
Oh, nice.
Tell you guys that.
I tell you what, it is a bloody great location. I love Gisborne.
Yeah.
Bloody great
It's a
guy.
good brewery
Ray
down
as
here.
well, he's great.
Sunshine Brewery.
Yeah, totally. Now, listen, Pete, can you name that tune, my friend?
I think it's the Doors, LA Woman.
Well, it's I can see that. But I'm afraid it's not on this occasion.
Oh, sorry, Pete. But enjoy your afternoon, mate. Thanks for the call. Thanks for listening. Let's go to Stuart. G'day, mate.
G'day, mate.
How are you, Stuart?
Good, yeah, just sitting in the motorway car park.
Oh, right.
Are you running away from someone?
No, just stuck in traffic.
Right, it sounds like you've got a couple of horses galloping in the back of your car there or something.
Oh, yeah, there's plenty of horses there.
Right. All right, Stuart, let's cut straight to the chase, my friend. Can you name that tune?
I can't think it was like Betty by Ram Jam.
No.
No.
Sorry, mate.
Oh, well, see you later next time.
Yeah, good on you, buddy. Thanks for listening. Thanks for the call. Let's go
Has he got a
to...
body in the boot or something?
yeah, that was weird, wasn't it?
Yeah.
A very unusual sound. Cliff. G'day, mate.
G'day.
How are you?
Not too bad. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Getting by. How's the building business?
Same old, just chipping away.
Yeah. Sweet. Now, Cliff, I don't know why I feel this, but I've got a feeling you've got the right answer here. Can you name that tune?
I think it might have been a tune from 1959. Ray Charles, What Did I Say?
Oh, 59, is it?
Oh,
It's going back a bit, isn't it?
1915. Yeah, I think you're right, Lee Hart. I think that's the earliest one you've ever done. Well done, Cliff.
Thanks.
It's amazing musical knowledge you've got there.
Yeah. Who, me?
No,
right,
Cliff.
yeah.
It's extraordinary.
Oh, it's pretty amazing. I played,
Well, it's amazing that you played it as well. I could see me doing, the twist with this. The twist in the old hips.
At your school social.
God. Hey, well done, Cliff. Stay on the line, buddy, and our good man Tom will sort you out with a prize.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate.
It's quite funky, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, look, this is quite a similar sort of beat.
We can use that for an intro tomorrow.
Yeah, no, it sounds good, mate. Here's The Offspring.
You gotta keep them separated.
The Offspring there on Daily Bhuja this Monday afternoon. Now, I've mentioned this before, but would you guys be okay with me getting a treadmill in here?
Yeah, what sort of size?
Well, just a mini sort of size, because I've found that my brain operates best when I'm moving.
So you want to have a treadmill in the corner there, but when the songs are playing, you jump on the treadmill?
No, I want to have a treadmill, like literally if I was talking now, I'd be on the treadmill, because I find that actually triggers my brain to actually move, and I find when I stand still, my brain stands still.
Could be slightly distracting for us, but I'm happy to give it a go, yeah.
Well, I was going to do it with the cross trainer, but I thought that would be distracting.
The old loser cruiser. Yeah, the only thing that worries me is that you're a member of the Heavy Sweaters Club. And,
right,
that doesn't
no,
really,
fair point.
That really doesn't need any
How about a
encouraging.
bike? Stationary bike?
Yeah, I'm happy to do a bike if you guys are happy with a bike.
We could each have a bike.
Have you done your 100 squats today, by the way?
No, I haven't actually.
Actually, what a great idea, Lee Hart. We could all have bikes. We could be doing a top radio show and getting fit at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We wouldn't have to worry about going to the gym or fitting it in, because we'd come to work, do a workout, do a great show, and then go home
Yeah, because
again.
we're here, from 4 to 7 o'clock at night.
Well, exactly,
it's a
mate.
decent time to do a workout.
Would we shoot up performance-enhancing drugs like Lance Armstrong?
Well, we could do.
Well,
You-
we'll mix it up.
You could go home and your wife would say to you, how was the show tonight? And you'd go, oh, the show was shit, but I had a hell of a workout.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got a real sweat going. A real sweat
What's
going
this you
on.
got for me? Ditto. I want a protein shake.
I've lost 10 kg since I've been in this radio show.
Have you, do you guys do the protein shake? I feel like that's a step too far.
Nah.
Some guy was trying to sell me at the gym today some protein shake stuff, and I was like, nah, dude, I'm still happy to hoe into a pie and all that sort of carry
He
on.
sort of meet you in the car park, or what did he do?
Well, he did. He was coming, as I was coming out, he came out and it was one of those massive tubs.
Yep.
You know what I mean? He was like, I see you've been working out pretty hard and stuff. What do you eat? What's your sort of meal and all that sort of stuff? And I said, oh, just your regular
Meal.
stuff. And my meal. And he said, oh, well, get one of these babies, mate, and you can, takes the place of lunch or dinner, and it will really build that muscle mass. And,
So you didn't take it?
well, no, I didn't have any money on me at the time. I tell you what we could do. We could all sit here on our bikes and drink protein shakes, and I guarantee the quality of the show would also be enhanced.
It would. Tell you what, you've been doing something at the gym though, because those buttons are fighting for their lives over there.
Thanks, mate. Amazing, isn't it? Like 10 days I've been at the gym, and already
You're an expert.
the pecs are beginning to shine through. The abs, just a little bit of contour.
Do you have to have the top three buttons undone, or is that more for effect?
When you got it, flaunt it, Maddie. Hey, coming up, we're going to put a controversial idea for the
Yeah.
Oscars, Lee Hart.
That's right.
And a bloody good one, I think, too.
Lee Hart, Jason Hoyt, and the Bhuja Hawk. Till 7 tonight on Radio Hodaki.
White Stripes there on Daily Bhuja this Monday. Where are we at with the Oscars, Matty? In memoriam, are we?
In memoriam, we've got the big four to come: Best Actor, Best Actress, Director, and also Film. But they've had a bit of a cock-up with the in memoriam because they...
So hold on, in memoriam, this is where they look at, over the year, everyone that's passed away.
Yep, that's
It's
correct.
my favourite part of the show, actually.
Yeah, same. Actually, we had the idea last year that, they didn't provide enough information about it.
Yeah.
We wanted to know maybe how they died or where and when.
Yeah.
Trevor Spencer, emphysema.
Yeah.
Danny Woolrest.
So,
Chicken bone.
so
Richard Hinkle. Drowned.
Jan Patterson was an Australian costume designer, and she passed away in October 2016. So they're doing a nice wee in memoriam for Jan Patterson from Australia, the costume designer. But they used a photo of Jan Chapman, the producer from Australia, who was, I think, sitting in the crowd. And then her photo comes up, and she isn't quite passed.
That
I
is
wonder what's worse, though.
a bit of a balls up, quite frankly.
At least she can see it and see the funny side of it. It would be worse if it was your name, as in your career and everything, as opposed to just the wrong photo. Because if they said, Jason Hoyt, actor, and that sort of stuff, but it was your career that they were sort of showing in the images. So basically what they're saying is your career's dead, no matter what.
Yeah, totally. Well, that would be quite good too. They could have a in memoriam of people's careers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He started off with a hiss and a roar with blah, blah, blah in 1985.
Yeah, actors that may as well be dead. But anyway, so I'd do that. If I was sitting in the crowd there and my photo came up, I'd find it quite funny.
Well, you've got to have a sense of humour
At
about
least,
that
at
sort of
least
thing,
you made the damn show. At least you get to see it. Not many people get to see their own in memoriam, do they?
Well, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And
Now,
speaking of awards and stuff, right?
yeah.
What do you think? They've got Best Supporting Actor, Best Actor, Best Supporting
Actress.
Well, they don't say that. They say female actor, don't they? Or why don't they just have
a leading role or whatever?
I think my point is, why don't they just have Best Actor
I agree.
and females, and can halve the length of the damn event, and they can compete in the same category.
Exactly, because a lot of women, actors, they want to be called actors. They don't like being called an actress.
Totally.
So totally have them all in the one basket. And you made the point, who's the guy that's playing Churchill at the moment?
Nolan?
No,
it doesn't
no.
matter. Just
But,
say you've got a top actor playing
Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman versus Meryl Streep as Best Actor. How good is that? And as you're right, because it's pretty bloody tedious, the awards. Just have all the best actors in one group, the best supporting actors in one group, and be done with it.
That's right.
Brilliant idea.
Quick update: Guillermo del Toro, The Shape of Water, Best Director, winner.
Text 3483. Do you believe all the actors should be combined in the same category?
I think that's a brilliant idea, you guys. An absolutely brilliant idea. Good God. Here's Portugal the Man. Guns N' Roses there on Daily Bhuja. So, as we were speaking, Gary Oldman did win Best Actor, strangely enough.
For playing Winston Churchill, was it?
Yes, it'd be a hell of a role to play, the old Winston Churchill.
I wish my Oscars predictions were as good as my. Oh no, the other way around. I wish my betting on dogs was as good as my Oscars prediction.
How's that going for you? Because it was becoming a bit of an issue for you, Matty.
Pretty bad. I'm 10 grand down after the weekend.
Yeah, not good,
After
mate.
one weekend.
Yeah.
Not good at all.
We need to chat about that at some point. Now, look, I was talking about Komodo dragons
I
earlier.
was just going to say, I'm looking at the log here and I see Komodo dragons.
I don't
Fascinated.
know what it is, but I was watching a documentary before I came in here, and it was interesting.
About Komodo dragons,
Yeah, so
presumably?
what do they do? The water buffalo
Oh, yes.
sit in the mud, and they just sort of come over, and the water buffalo's not really scared of them, stupidly. And then the Komodo dragon will just sort of launch at it and just bite it,
Yes.
and then that's it, and just give up. Then the Komodo dragon will just wander off. Then it might take this wildebeest or water buffalo about 3 weeks or 2 weeks to die,
Yes.
but it's just getting sicker and sicker every day, because They've got poison, Komodo dragons.
And bacteria.
And bacteria.
In their mouth.
But they actually do have poison. They're the largest poisonous creatures in the world.
What a I've watched that same documentary, and it's a heinous way to die. So they bite, because they're not very fast, the old Komodo dragon. They bite the water buffalo, and then they just sit there and wait for it to die.
Yeah, they wait weeks. And then once it's dead, they'll pile in, and in about 45 minutes just tear the whole thing to bits.
I mean, I've always sort of believed that shark attacks would be probably the worst way to go, but I reckon that being mauled by a pack of Komodo dragons would really be up there in terms of the most heinous death that you could possibly imagine.
Shark attack's a pretty cool way to go, though.
Do you think?
How'd you die? Shark attack. Well, not you.
Well, you wouldn't be saying
say
that
someone
because
else would
you'd
be,
be,
saying
you know,
that. Pretty badass.
Badass? It would just be heinous. I could think of nothing worse than standing or being in water and being brought down by a shark.
They used to call you the kimono dragon because you used to walk around in that little short kimono, and I just remember a few girls back in the day used to call Jason Hoyt the kimono dragon. Was that you?
What do you mean used to wear a kimono? I will still wear a kimono. I don't recall being called the kimono dragon, but who knows?
Maybe we could bring it back.
Kimono.
Or just dragon.
And he's quite salivary.
Well, possibly. The Killers there on Daily Bhuja. They've got a gig coming up soon, don't they, Maddie?
They've got 3 gigs coming up in April. Auckland, Wellington, Christchurch. All the details at hoaraki.co.nz. You going to go? I'm going to go.
Yeah,
I'd say we'd probably interview him again, won't we?
I'd say so, yeah.
I'd be really keen to get in on that, fellas.
Might be a bit weird if you do it, because he's sort of used to Lee and I.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
I think you just stay out of this one. But look, certainly come to the concert, though, if you want.
Oh, I'm definitely coming to... I imagine we're giving away tickets and stuff for that as well on our show.
You'd imagine so.
Yeah, that's great.
Is Jake's going to come to the backstage part with us as well?
Yeah. It's hard to know on radio what we do.
Hey, speaking of which, speaking of concerts, Matty, you went to the ACL, Auckland City Limits. Your thoughts? Because I hear it was pretty damn good.
It was pretty bloody good. I've got to be perfectly honest with you. The sort of the rigmarole getting, you got to stand in a queue to get your wristband, then you got to stand in a queue to top it up, then you got to stand in a queue to get an R18 wristband, then you stand in and then they only had half strength beer. I mean, not to pick it to pieces, but the performances themselves were very good.
Half strength beer, what's that? 2.5% or something?
Yeah.
Why would they do that?
I don't know.
Oh, that's pretty ridiculous.
So we went straight onto the
everybody's time,
vodkas.
basically.
You had to pay $3 a cup. It was a bit niggly, but it was a standard New Zealand festival, really.
Right.
But the performances were great.
Is this still the Oscar special?
Yeah. Well, I guess so. The Oscars thingy is going on. I'd like to see a thing for most overrated performance.
Yeah, well, they have that each year at the old Razzies.
Yeah, well, speaking of which, the Emoji Movie's just won Worst Picture at the Razzies.
Okay, good.
Never seen it, but it sounds
Can
terrible.
I ask, if this is not too soon into this show, is tomorrow our census special?
Yeah.
And if so, what the heck's involved in that?
Yeah, I don't know. All I can say is that I've tried to fill out my census stuff. It is so bloody boring. Can't they put something interesting in there? You know, what's your favourite position or something like that? Or,
What
you
type
know,
of position?
what's your favourite performance? Or, you know, who do you find? Who's the funniest person in New Zealand? Just put something interesting in there, for God's sake. I mean, it's tedious. Who wants to fill this out?
Yeah.
Should we get the wizard on from Christchurch, who always goes out in his rowboat so he doesn't have to fill out the census for some reason?
God, I might join him.
Does the wizard still exist since the cathedral's gone? Is he still about and doing stuff?
He sort of turns up every census to have a noise grab and the voice grab and
Yeah, I
the
haven't seen much of the wizard lately, but yeah, what is the point of the census anyway, really?
To annoy you?
Especially when you've got kids in that, it's like filling out aircraft forms for them, you know?
Yeah,
You've got to do all the stuff. You've got to type out the... Oh, no.
It's a pain in the arse, Lee Hart. An absolute pain in the arse.
What's the point of them? Surely with you record how many births and deaths there are in New Zealand and you control who's going in and out. Surely they know who's here.
Exactly.
What do they ask? Income and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
They never have enough sort of spots for the zeros. It's annoying.
I sort of feel like saying, you know, mind your own business. I mean, if I came up to you and said to you, you were talking earlier about, you know, going up to all the women in the building and saying, what are you wearing? You know what I mean? It's like me coming up to you and saying, what are you earning, Lee Hart?
Yeah.
What money are you on?
Yeah, it should be questions like, go back to Komodo dragon. What's the last animal you were attacked by?
Yes.
What was it?
If you were to die by way of animal, which animal would you prefer?
Yeah. Favourite position?
Favourite position?
When was the last time you actually had sex?
How often do you have sex?
Yeah.
all of those sorts of things. Oh, well, I'd be quite interested in that and reading the results. But this one, I'm looking at it right now. Tedious.
Do you think people would be honest though on that question?
What, in terms of how often do they have sex?
Yeah, because people do have a tendency to exaggerate their sex lives.
Or particularly men. How often do you have sex?
Pardon?
How often do you have sex?
If I was answering a census form, what would I say?
No, in real time.
I'd prefer if it's one of those things where it goes 0 to 5. You know.
So you'd be tick that one.
No, or it could be B 6 to 15. You know, so you've got an option, like more of a window, as opposed to getting specific about it. You know.
Yeah.
How about you, Jace?
Pardon?
How often do you
have sex?
Should I say 0 to 5 times?
What time period are we talking? Over a year?
No, it's a night.
Pardon?
Over a night.
Oh, over a night. Jeez.
with another person?
I wish, but no. I'm a regular lover, I guess you'd say.
Well, that could be the next question. What do you wish you could be?
Yeah. What?
Daily Bhuja.
Oasis there on Daily Bhuja this Monday afternoon. Shape of Water. Won best film, Lee Hart.
I don't understand that.
Or did it?
Or did it?
Do we have another La La Land on our hands?
So I haven't seen it, so I can't comment on that.
Do you know?
If I haven't seen it,
I wonder sometimes if they award best Oscar just because it's got a arty kind of name.
Yeah.
Like Shape of Water. It's got to be an Oscar winner, surely.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. You see.
Well, I'm going to have to go and check it out now. Also, Placemakers, Lee Hart. Name that tool. Placemakers' Monster Tool Sale is now on till April 16th, featuring all the best brands and some fantastic bargains. To celebrate, the good folk at Placemakers have given us an 8-piece Milwaukee Power Tool Kit to give away.
It's a hell of a kit, that.
You can enter the draw for this at horadeki.co.nz, which I think is pretty awesome, actually, because a lot of our listeners are chippies, or electricians, men of the land, so it would be very handy. Also, each Tuesday and Thursday, Jason Hoyt,
That's you, Jace.
who's me, presumably, will profile a different tool from the 8-piece Milwaukee set in his new segment, Name That Tool.
You're going to be doing that, eh?
Do you always talk about yourself in the third person?
Apparently so. If you can name that tool, you'll win a 2-piece Milwaukee tool set. Just like that. Name That Tool this week with Jason Hoyt on Bhuja. Weekdays from 4 p.m. on Radio Hoda.
I can't wait for that segment.
I'm starting to think you're reading that.
I tell you what, if anyone knows his tools in this studio, it's the Hoytmeister. So it sort of makes sense that they're getting me to do the gist of the tools and all that sort of
It's
jazz.
just going to be interesting to see how that unfolds.
Yeah.
Apparently they did cock it up again. It wasn't Shape of Water, Dunkirk one. They just had a repeat of last year.
You're joking?
No, I wouldn't make that up.
No. Who cares anyway?
So, who actually really at the end of the day does care?
They're all rubbish.
It's all just self-congratulatory.
No, the one that chick was getting it on with an alien. They won.
Is that what the Shape of Water is?
I think so.
Good stuff, mate.
In a nutshell.
Here's KG Elephant. This is Bhuja. KG Elephant there on Daily Bhuja. Lee Hart and Jason Hoyt. Now, Lee, I believe, and in fact, I'm pretty certain that you went fishing this weekend. You joined the lads out on the boat.
Yeah.
And you were telling me that there was a couple of days that they didn't have you on the boat and the fishing was going great guns. You came aboard and then the fishing fell apart a little bit, which I find very surprising.
Well, you've done a lot of fishing, Jace. I don't need to tell you. That can happen sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, the conditions obviously changed once I got on board, and the fish seemed to dry up a little bit.
What sort of baits are we talking about here? Whereabouts were you and what kind of baits were we using?
Of sort of Rakino kind of way.
Oh, yes, okay.
Out on the Gulf there.
Oh, it's usually prolific out there.
Yeah. Going for the big snapper. Also the big kingies, of course. Didn't get any kingies. All the fish were sort of on the small side as well.
Right, okay. How far out from Rakino were you?
I just was sort of trying to fight the weather, so I sheltered in there. And, it was just one of those days.
Well, when you're in the sort of sheltered area, the old bento box, always a good lure to be using. The beaver flaps as well, they're always good in a sheltered sort of...
I did some Colorado beaver flaps and a few things like that, but the guys weren't that open to some of my suggestions. They're kind of old school.
Right, okay.
So I think that's when
they were old school or you're old school?
Well, well, they just were a little bit conservative.
Right,
They're not
okay.
used to some of the new fash ways that we've been bringing to fishing lately.
Yeah, did you take the Venetian blinds out with you?
No, I didn't have a chance, actually.
Right,
I
okay.
lent them to someone else on a different fishing trip.
Oh, bugger. Because I reckon if you had had the Venetian blinds, it would
I
have
don't know
turned
the
everything
conditions
around.
would have suited to Venetians, to be honest.
Oh, really?
No, it was a little bit. The current is running a bit fast for Venetians. Louvers, maybe.
The louvers?
Sea louvers.
Yeah. Oh, well, what a bugger, mate, because I was looking forward to you bringing me in some fresh snapper. Anything you put in the smoker?
Not fish, no.
What'd you do to kill the time? Did you have a couple of beers or something?
Oh, but a couple of beers, yeah. A couple.
So, it was an old tugboat, I believe, that you're
I
on.
actually dropped a box of beers on the beach in Waiheke. Was probably the low point of the trip for me.
You dropped a whole box of beers?
Yeah, I sort of swung it over my shoulder to carry it that way, and it went right over the bank.
Right,
over
okay.
again.
Don't know your own strength.
Wackachangies, were they?
I would, actually. It started like a classic.
Right, nice. So,
It's karma.
how many guys were on the
It was
boat?
actually 24, a box of 24.
Oh,
But I only wanted 6 in the end, and that's all that was left.
well, that's always a dilemma, isn't it? I mean, you take a dozen just to be sociable so that other people can have it, but then in the end, like you were saying, Matt, you end up drinking the whole dozen, and you feel a bit of a tit. You feel like you've got issues. You feel like people are judging you.
But no, it was a great trip. Great couple of days out in the water.
How many lads were on the boat with you?
About 5 or 6.
Okay. What sort of food are we talking about on the boat? Did you eat much?
Fish, yeah.
Oh, it was all fish. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Snapper, crumb snapper.
Good stuff. Because incidentally, a lot of people
Scollies.
Seriously?
Scollies, yeah.
Did you dive, did you?
Oh, I just went down with the
Snorkel.
just with the hand hose, just so I didn't have dive gear. Just went down with the hose because we're only talking about 4 meters.
Right, okay. Well, that's just as effective as long as you can breathe.
Yeah.
Oh, fresh scallops. My God. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, well, that's a shame, mate, because as I say, I was very much looking forward to you bringing in me a few smoked snapper fillets.
Yeah.
Well, a couple of scollies would have been nice.
Oh well, I've still got some left.
Oh, okay, we'll bring them in tomorrow. You listening to Bhuja? It sort of gives it that sort of caramelised edge, Just
Yeah, well, it would though, wouldn't it?
Extra little bit of flavour, Lee Harp. That's the key, my friend. Now, listen, the phone lines have gone crazy. Let's go to them now. G'day, Mad.
Hey, man.
How you going? Who are we speaking to?
Liz?
Who, sorry?
Liz?
Liz.
Yeah, man, I thought I heard some sort of chicken in the background of that song.
Oh, you wanting the KFC Wheeler chicken? Is it Liz or Lynn?
Liz, the first one.
Oh,
Liz,
okay, Liz.
What did you hear, do you think? Can be more
I think I
specific.
heard something, maybe like a hawk.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. You did hear a hawk, actually, Liz. What's going on for Liz at the moment? You're obviously travelling home from work, Liz, I'm guessing?
Yeah, I've just finished. Ran a bit late today.
Right, okay. Whereabouts are you working and whereabouts are you calling from, Liz? What city?
From little mighty Waikato.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. And what do you do, Liz?
I give people money.
Oh, okay, you're like a loaner, a banker.
Yeah, man, that's me.
Can we have some?
Yeah, we need money.
I mean, if you meet all the ticks, then probably not.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Well, yeah, because we've been actually, funny you should call this. We've been looking through the Bhuja accounts and it's not looking great, and we feel like we need a bit of a top-up because we're wanting to go over to Wales to watch Joseph Parker and so forth and take some lucky winners with us, and we're looking at maybe a 50 or 60k loan.
I mean, if you send me through your driver's license and your bank account details, I can look into it for you.
Brilliant.
It's worth doing, isn't it?
Yeah, well, Tom, can you make sure when you give Liz a prize for picking the Bhuja Hawk that you also give her our bank account details and our tax forms? Thanks, mate. Hey, Liz, thanks for the call. Thanks for listening. You have a great afternoon.
Okay, thank you, man. See ya.
Thanks, mate.
She sounded great, didn't she?
Yeah, she did. Yeah. A bit of noise in the background there, but that's what you get on live radio, Matty.
Ambiance, Jace.
Ambiance. Here's Royal Blood. Welcome back to Daily Bhuja. We just had a text in Lee Hart. Could you guys play a bit of 9 Inch Nails?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Well, we'll see what we can do, Matty. If maybe we could sort of have a bit of a jig around so we can make our listener happy. That
Is
would
that
be
a
great,
hassle
mate.
for you, man? Do you have to jiggle much around there to get that in there?
It was a little bit of jiggling when you just
The
sort
9
of
Inch Nails
spring
is
things
song
on me
that
like
I'm
that,
thinking
but-
of. It's probably coming about 3 minutes 50, and Well, the gap we have there is probably not quite that. So,
Well, 9 Inch Nails is a 4-minute song, you
Is
see.
it?
So, yeah.
Well, look, I'll tell you what, to the person that texted that, and we'll do our very, very best to make sure that happens, hopefully next for you. Just like that.
we may have to lose an ad or something.
Yeah, well, look, if we have to lose an ad to make a listener happy, I want to put my hand up
I'm
right
happy to
now.
do that, yeah.
Absolutely,
Well, let's
mate.
make a call here, eh? Well, let's lose an ad, and we'll get this guy's song in there, eh?
The
Let's
9
just
Inch Nails.
Yeah, let's just do it.
Are we unanimous on that? Because I don't want to be, facing up to Bogsy and him saying, why did you remove this ad at, 6 whatever it was, and, put a song of your choosing in. And as long as we're all together on this, then I'm prepared to do that.
Yeah, I'm prepared. Look, so we did it for the listeners. It wasn't self-indulgent. It's
Yeah.
for a listener out there.
Apparently, Bogsy doesn't even listen anymore.
Is that right?
He's given up, so to speak.
Well, the debacle on Friday, he was busy tearing strips off Lee and I in the bloody NZME reception there, and we missed the bloody voice link because Bogsy was telling us we weren't doing a good enough
How
job.
ironic. I'm going to text now and say, you better be bloody listening to this show.
Was it him that requested that song?
Well, I don't
Maybe
think it
my
was
wife.
Bogsy that requested it, no, but it was just a normal punter. But Bogsy, yeah, I think you're right, Matt. I don't even think he listens anymore. So therefore, Lee Hart, I don't want to hear from Bogsy anymore. No. If he doesn't listen to the show, he's got no opinion, and I won't be listening.
That's right.
All
Here's
right.
9 Inch Nails. Look, we're just chucking it in there.
Do it.
Just chucking it in there.
Do
Go
it.
on, Bogsy. Here's 9 Inch Nails, Bogsy. Oh, yes, indeedy. Welcome back to Daily Bhuja. Now, we get a lot of texts on this show, Lee Hart.
A heck of a lot of texts.
You know what? It's always great to hear from the Kiwis, and I just wanted to take the time to read a particular text out that's just actually come through on the texting machine here, and it reads, "Hey fellas, top-notch show. Just want to write a quick note to say my grandfather was a huge fan of your show, and he unfortunately passed away last week. But one of the things..."
Does he know what show he passed away in? Does he mention what show it was?
No, he doesn't. He's actually not day specific about what day he passed away.
Okay.
But one of the things he insisted on taking with him was daily Bhuja podcasts on his iPhone.
Okay.
And apparently he had stockpiled all the podcasts for the last year and a half, and that was the only thing of all of his possessions, Lee Hart, that he wanted to take with him to the grave. And so, that's pretty humbling, mate. Wherever he is now in the spiritual world, whatever it is, he'll be listening to daily Bhuja podcasts.
Yeah, but couldn't he just go online and get them off our database? Doesn't have to take them with them, does he?
Well, I guess he was just anticipating that they didn't have an online, offline type scenario in the other world. I suspect that they probably do. Who knows? But that's from Philip. So
We don't know what day he passed away, or whether he was actually listening to the show when he passed away.
No, we don't know that actually, but it might have been the Wednesday because I think they had the autopsy on the Friday and the funeral on the Sunday.
Okay,
so usually it takes a couple of days after, before these sort of things.
I'm thinking it probably is the Wednesday, possibly the Tuesday. Both good shows.
Yeah, well, that's the heartening thing. If he was going, and if he did go, and he was listening to a Daily Bhuja show, then I'm stoked for him.
Yeah.
And if it was one of our better ones, then all the better.
I just hope there was good music and good ads, and that his last show was a good one overall.
Well, Tuesday, the music was
That's just like
okay.
it was a Monday.
Yeah, no, Monday was crap, but Wednesday was a bloody great show. So thanks to Philip for that text. We appreciate it, mate.
So Philip is the son.
Is the grandson.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So,
well, Philip, if there's anything we can do to help, not that we can help him now, but perhaps we can, I don't know. Maybe.
I'm just impressed that his grandfather had an iPhone, quite frankly. They're getting with it, the old people nowadays, ain't getting more and more hip.
You are, yeah.
Good stuff.
That's a great text. If you've got a similar text, fire it through. We'd love to hear it. 3483.
Verve Pipe there on Daily Bhuja. You all right, mate? You keep glancing at your phone. You've got that sort of look about you that you're expecting some sort of, well, not catastrophic text or phone call, but maybe that you're anticipating some trouble ahead.
No, it's that my go-to buddy, those people who have more demons than you.
Oh, yes.
I've just, texted them saying, heard you had a big night, and hoping they're going to get back to me with all the details to make me feel better.
Yeah, with all, yeah. Well, actually, the last time I did that to my go-to buddy in terms of, knowing that they're usually worse than I am, he was in great form, He'd made some big changes.
It can backfire on you.
Well, he made some big changes in his life, He'd given up the booze, he was at the gym, he was doing all sorts of good stuff, and that just sort of depressed me even more, you know what I mean? It's a danger when you go to your go-to person who's usually worse than you, and they've suddenly turned their life around.
Especially if it's someone you haven't sort of spoken to for maybe 10 years.
Yeah.
You suddenly give them a text, heard you had a big one. Just fishing.
Yeah, out of the blue, yeah. Yeah, but oh no, that's okay. So he hasn't got back to you yet.
No, not yet, but he'll get back to you shortly, hopefully. Yeah, I just thought he would have been back by now. Just heard he had.
Well, I can, that you got that anxious sort of look on your eye that you need some kind of confirmation or some affirmation of some description. Yes, Matt.
Maybe he dropped his phone in the toilet.
Maybe he's
Smashed it.
such a wild night that actually he doesn't have his phone anymore.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So maybe you could console yourself by going, actually, I suspect he might have lost his phone because he does that all the time.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll just have to wait and see, I suppose.
I've never seen you so nervous.
Yeah,
Well, it's
I
not that,
know.
it's just, it's just yeah.
Sweating bullets over there.
Texts and, yeah. Well,
All good, mate. Should we go into a bit of music then while you're waiting for the call?
Yeah, that'd be great if you could.
Alt J, maybe?
Makes sense.
And so ends the Daily Bhuja Oscar special. And I tell you what, Lee Hart, we've done a few Oscar specials in our time, but this one is, I reckon, about third or fourth on my list.
It's one heck of a show today, Jay, especially for a Monday. Now, put you on the spot. Highlights for you today?
Well, look, I'm one of those guys that doesn't like to sort of isolate any particular period. It's the whole overall vibe of a show that's important to me, and I feel like, we started off almost with a formal apology, given that it was a Monday, that, usually Mondays can be a very difficult show, and so given the start, I thought we did pretty bloody well, actually, mate.
That's right.
I thought it was it. What about you? Highlights for you?
I think Jason Slice of Life, about halfway through the show there.
Thanks, mate.
For me, that was good. Also, your top tip later on, enjoyed that very much.
Oh, thanks, mate. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's good. I just thought the energy of the show, if nothing else, is what got us through.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Well, it's been great having your company this afternoon, New Zealand. What's coming up on the night show, Matty? Because I know that when I came in today, I've never seen you more enthusiastic about doing your show tonight.
Yeah, and then I had to sit through your show and it kind of sucked it out of me, but I'm sort of getting that vibe back again. It's good.
Is the tide coming back in?
It certainly is.
Okay, big weekend.
Yeah.
We talked about that, didn't we?
Yeah.
Right.
We did.
So do you think after this show now that Lee and I have just done, that, your demons from the weekend are sort of slightly less now? Because Lee Hart's theory of how to get rid of your demons is to find someone with bigger demons.
Well, I did just that by walking into this room, so I am home and hosed now. So
it's always nice to have a few people on your phone on a quick dial kind of, what do you call that?
Exactly.
What I do, you can just ring, speed them up, speed dial, bring them up. Hey, you feeling today? How you going, mate? And there's a certain few people in your life you just know would have had a worse weekend than you.
Yeah, totally. Your go-to sort of depressive sort of situations, Hey, New Zealand has been... Oh, yes, man.
No, I was just going to say, tell you what, I've got Moby's album to give away, and also The Breeders' album to give away.
Oh, that's amazing.
Digital copies, because who listens to CDs anymore?
Why didn't you give one of those away on our show?
Because I was saving them for my show.
Okay, fair enough, mate. Listen,
but if
New
you like
Zealand...
them, 0800 Hodaki.
It's been great having your company this afternoon. We'll be back for the Tuesday show, which is always a doozy. I promise you that. From Lee, myself, and the Night Wolf, take care up there and Bhuja to you.